even seeing your workpiece, because you're not having to stretch far for it, it's right there. So it's just going to make your life a lot easier.
Me and Tom are here at ETG and we're going to be reviewing the Quaser MV 214. So Tom, from the outside looking in, there's loads of things that we're going to talk about, lots of benefits for customers. So what stood out for you immediately with this machine?
How high the table is.
Okay.
That was the first thing that stood out, because you're not having to overstretch. The table comes really close to the door as well. So we've all had it when you've got to reach in and your top gets a bit wet. With this, I think that's the thing of the past.
Okay, so before previously you were using beds that were quite low down, so this is a huge benefit for you to have it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even seeing your workpiece, because you're not having to stretch far for it, it's right there. So it's just going to make your life a lot easier.
As we can see as well, the table is a really big table, isn't it? It's quite a big machine, so having it that high up will benefit that. And also you can get a real reach with these two double doors as well. Being able to open them, you've got a clear workspace. How is having a clear workspace a benefit for an engineer?
Well, sometimes, obviously, if you're buying a machine which is this size, you're buying it for a reason. So you're buying it to do big workpieces. You don't want to try and get a single door and try and fit that through and you're struggling. But with this, if you're loading something which is a two-man job, as you can see with me and you stood here, two of us together could easily lift something onto that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So anything else? Obviously the table's a huge part of a CNC machine. So is there anything else that stood out to you?
Well, something else is the spindle. You get a lot of height. I think it's around 650 mil.
Yeah, possibly.
In height. So as well as having a big table, you've also got a big height reach as well. A couple of other machines, you might have a big table or you might have a big reach, but you don't necessarily get them together.
It's also quite a big build, isn't it, for a spindle and a Z column, and because you've got such a big surface to play around with, you need all that RPM coming from the spindle to be able to cut your material. And also there's coolant flood on the tool, there's coolant through spindle coolant, and there's also, how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4 coolant nozzles that we can pump coolant out from. So this machine is a very coolant friendly machine. So why is that a benefit to a customer?
Yeah, different operations require different coolant operations, I think we can say. Sometimes it's nice to have a coolant nozzle because you can push it into the hole as you're cutting. So if you're doing sort of like a deep bore, if you've got coolant actually going into that, it can wash the swarf out. Sometimes it's nice to have through spindle coolant, which essentially would do the same, but you've got to have the through tooling. So if you've only got a few tools that are through spindle and not all of them, at least you're not having to buy. With this, you don't have to buy them tools. You can use an array of tools and still get a positive outcome.
For quite a big machine like this, obviously you're going to have eyes on it everywhere. If you put in a big part, if you put in lots of little parts with a lot of work holding on there, is there a benefit for a machine tool to have big open doors and big windows at the side?
Well, like we've said, with the big open doors, it's easy to get parts in and out. It's also easy to clean, which I know most people don't like doing.
It's a benefit though for a customer because you've always got to clean your machine.
Exactly. So, and with the double windows, 9 times out of 10, if you're milling something, one window will be getting covered in coolant. So you've got the other side to look in.
You've also got the end windows as well. So if you have got a long, big part, you can come round and see what's cutting on the edge, see if you're that close to the back. So there's so many benefits of having this machine. This machine comes with Heidenine. Do you know Heidenine?
No, I'm afraid we're going to have to go on your expertise for that because I've never used it.
For a machine like this, it's really capable with Heidenine control. Okay, so being a Heidenine person that taught it, it's really easy to use, really friendly. We can run test run, we can run 3D views. Also, for this machine, it also has a 4th axis or 5th axis capability. Once that's got that integration, how easy is it to be able to be set up on a machine like this?
Oh, I think if you've already got it in the machine, it makes life such easier. But also, with it having such a big table, with having a 4th axis or a trunnion style, you've got the room.
Yeah.
So you could actually put your fourth axis on, and you've still got all the rest of the table. So you don't have to put the fourth axis on and then use it as a fourth axis all the time, which I think some other machines struggle with, because you sort of like, oh right, I don't need the fourth axis now, right, I need to get it off, or I need it again now, put it back on. But with this, you've got such a big table, you could put it onto one end, and I don't think you'd ever have to take it off.
So this machine is in stock right now. If you want to know any more information, contact the guys at the Engineering Technology Group.